everybody, boys and girls, Mark, Centerline Systems. And today we're going to talk about belts, but more importantly, we're going to talk about the materials that we use that go into all the great belts we make. All right, so stand by. Woo! All right, here we are, boys and girls. We're in the Mad Scientist Dojo. You know, it's more of a shop for working, so I don't really know how the videography is going to work out here, but bear with us. We're going to try doing a couple zooms, some demonstrations, practical applications. All right, so here's what I wanted to do today. Right? I want to talk about the belts we make, but more importantly, I want to talk about the materials we use. And I'm not picking on anybody. Again, you hear me say it all the time. You do you. I don't really care. But something we take great pride in, not just the craftsmanship and the customer service, but the quality of the materials we use, right? So the materials we use are no joke mil-spec, not military grade or military strength or whatever other euphemism, because all that means is it's made in China. We use mil-spec materials. This is 55301 webbing. Our filler material, and I'm going to show you all this in a little bit, that's 500575. It's commonly referred to as scuba webbing. We use, no joke, Velcro brand made in the United States, hook and loop, not just hook and loop, which could be made anywhere, right? And the only thing in our belts that isn't technically made in America, I mean, it's not made in America, it's made overseas, but that's the Cobra buckle from Austria Alpine. However, disregard what I just said because this is Berry compliant. And if you don't know what the Berry Amendment is, I would suggest you look it up. But this is the best buckle out there, and because of that, we're able to use it in the military and for tactical and other uses. This buckle rocks. Matter of fact, this buckle rocks so much. This is another buckle, another issue. The same thing where you see, oh, we use military grade or military quality material. Well, that's not mil-spec, right? That's what military specification means. This buckle is ripped off so many times. If you go to that online shopping place and you look at belts, you'll see cheap knockoffs of this, and sometimes they'll say it's a Cobra buckle. It's not a Cobra buckle unless it comes from Austria Alpine, all right? The great people, Austria Alpine, I don't know how they put up with that fight half the time, but because they're getting ripped off left and right, so get an Austria Alpine Cobra buckle. All right, so that's the material we use, all right? Mil-spec, made in America, or Berry compliant, right? Berry Amendment. All right, now, on the website, a lot of this is already listed out on the website, but what I also want to talk about is just with everything else, we're making this for you, so we can make this as unique as your own, your own fingerprint, right? So we've got our solid colors, black, Ranger green, coyote brown. We got multicam classic, multicam black. We have ATAX, FGX, and multicam tropic. And I'm going to do a quick little pause right there. So the FGX, the ATAX, FGX, and the multicam tropic are probably going to come off the website pretty soon, simply because I want to bring in some different materials, both on the Kadura side, and if I'm bringing it over on the Kadura side, that means the webbing's going to go away. So I do have multicam tropic and FGX, but once it's gone, and this isn't all I have, but once it's gone, and I'm going to replace it because I want to bring in different Kadura. But we have that. A couple other things, though, I want to point out is, so, with our belts, we've got a thread and a logo kind of combination that we just normally do. But if you want to mix and match, just reach out and let us know, and I'll show you another example. But here's one right here. So you can do orange thread, or you can do red thread, right? And you can see this, but let's say you wanted a Ranger green with orange or red. Just reach out, right? So, for example, multicam black. This is multicam black, and I'll talk about the buckles here in a second. And this has a green thread, but this multicam black looks really good when you make it in red thread. I mean, it just looks badass, right? So you may not see that combination, but because we make it handcrafted, all you got to do is reach out and ask me, and we can do that for you. Another one that you don't see on the website, the picture's up there, but you don't see like the option. And I've got to figure out a smarter way to do this, I totally admit it. But that's Ranger green. I should have probably just put that together. Ranger green with coyote brown buckle, but more importantly, it's got a coyote brown logo, coyote brown thread, and coyote brown Velcro, right? So this is a really popular combination over on the Kadura side for our soft goods, is to have Ranger green with coyote brown, or vice versa, having coyote brown with Ranger green. So this is a coyote and coyote, but you could do the same thing. You could get this and you could do Ranger green thread, Ranger green logo, Ranger green Velcro. It'd look pretty badass, right? So if you don't see that combination, just like with everything else, just reach out, send me an email, give me a phone call, and we'll make it work. Now, another thing I want to talk about before I kind of go into a demonstration here is I want to also talk about the buckles. So I mentioned, you know, Austria Alpine, great buckles. Well, we work with this other great company also from Minnesota called Fog Firearms. They're out of Walker, Minnesota. And we get these Cerakoted. So again, no offense to anybody else out there. I just like this Cerakote color that we use a little bit better. So we got a coyote brown Cerakote. So you can get the standard black anodized. Then you can get our coyote brown. You can get what we call ghost camo, which is, again, you can see this over here on this multicam black. I'll kind of put it like that so you can see how that color combination works. So that's multicam black, but then you got this green and black buckle, so it kind of goes really now. Well, we actually saw a lot of that too with the Ranger green by itself, but also the multicam classic. And then, last but not least, as many of you already know, we make a specialty belt, and I'll bring that back in a second, for Black Scout Survival. So this is another buckle, but it's got his logo on it, right? And we do Cerakoting, right, which is the top of the line. And so this is available, but it's only available over at Black Scout Survival. That's a buckle with his logo. And then I guess I'm going to use that as a nice little intro just to talk about the belt we make for him. So our belts, tactical, practical, and casual, right? So if you're looking for the tactical and practical side, so it's our same belt that we make, but we make it special for him, and we put, you know, concealment pockets on the inside. So think if you were traveling abroad, right? So there's a pocket in the back and there's a pocket in the front, and I'll just do one pocket at a time. But so what these pockets provide is an opportunity for, like, I could put a copy of my passport in here. I could put a thumb drive with all my personal information if I needed. You know, up on the front one, I could put a bunch of quarters for parking meters. I could put a spare house key in here, you know, so if I lose my keys, I can at least still get back into my car, my house, you know. And so anyway, this is available only over on the concealment version. That's only available over on Black Scout Survival. He's got a lot of videos, a lot of write-ups, so, you know, go over to his side and check that out. All right, last but not least, here's the other thing I wanted to talk about our belts. And again, I'm not, you do you. I mean, there's a lot of different companies out there, but my recommendation is, if you find an American company that's using Mil-spec, American-made material, and they're doing more than just making the belt out of scuba webbing, right? So I already mentioned I use scuba webbing. This is 500575. I use this as our filler webbing, and as you can see, it's got pretty good north-south rigidity, but I can squeeze it when it's by itself. So if you're in the practical or the tactical side of things, and if you're carrying a knife, a cell phone, a radio, you know, a flashlight, a weapon, if you're into the open carry, concealed carry, you want good rigidity on your belt. You want really good north-south rigidity. So what we've accomplished is, not only do you have the casual side, you know, a belt, whether it's coyote brown or black, that you can wear with, you know, dress clothes or khakis, but it also now gives you that great north-south rigidity, and that gives you more north-south rigidity, simply because we sandwich the scuba webbing in between two layers of 55301. So I'm going to do that same thing, and now you can see I'm putting a whole lot more pressure down on it, and now it's only just now starting to bend, and I don't know if you can see how white my fingers are from squeezing this, but that rigidity matters if you're wearing stuff on your waist, no matter what it is. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put my eyeballs on. We're going to do a little practical demonstration here, and then we'll take on out. Okay, but before we shot this video, we already cleared this handgun, but I'm going to do it again just for public safety, and also want to demonstrate that that is a fully loaded magazine. All right, weapons clear, magazine's in. All right, now some people might argue, well, this is a cheat because you don't have the belts connected. That's not true whatsoever. So I'm just going to demonstrate here something, because this belt webbing should work no matter what, right? Now, so here's the scuba webbing through it. So I'm just going to pinch the top and the bottom. I'm not going to grab the holster, right? And you can see I can't even let go of it, because the holster already wants to bow away from it, right? It already wants to start folding. So I will cheat for the scuba, and I'll fold it over. Imagine if now this was around your waist. So I'm going to hold this tight, and I'm just going to pinch the webbing again, And you can see how it's already flopping over like a noodle, right? So that's what you get out of just having scuba webbing for your belt, right? And I don't care if you fancy it up with like, you know, some binding tape, whatever the case is. That's your rigidity. That's your north-south rigidity. It just isn't going to hold as well in a holster, right? Now I'm going to take our belt. All right, and I'm not going to fold the ends together, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pinch the webbing. And see how that's not rolling over, right? So if it matters to you, if you carry concealed, that means you're going to have really good contact between your holster and your belt, aka your body. So on your draw stroke, you're not going to be like yanking all kinds of things around, right? That's the rigidity you want. And so that's the tactical and practical aspect of it, but it's also a great kick-ass looking belt. Oh, and then last but not least, and again, you do you. Right? There's all kinds of different designs, and I'm not arguing one or the other. But to me, I don't want webbing, overlapping webbing with smaller webbing and all of this stuff trying to come together in my center mass, especially if you're going to carry appendix or if you're carrying stuff, you know, up on your like 1 and 2, you know, like 1 to 2 o'clock, you know, 10, 11 o'clock right there, right? So our belt is a normal belt, all right? The belt tip goes through your pant loops, and then it comes all the way over. Run it through the tri-glide in the Cobra buckle, and now it's set for the whole rest of the day. You don't have to mess with the belt tip. Now you just open the Cobra buckle up, right? So I know why a lot of other people do that, because they want to run a smaller buckle, because apparently you need to run the smaller buckle through your pant loops. Well, why can't you just run the belt tip through your pants loops? You do that with every other belt you own, right? So because in order to get that smaller buckle, you have to have webbing, overlapping webbing, 1.5 inches, so you can have the smaller webbing to the smaller buckle, and all you're going to have is that stuff in the center of your center line, your center mass. That's just going to be moving around. All right, so that's it. That was our little practical application, or demonstration, practical application. I guess we didn't really have a practical application. We had an explanation and a demonstration. Now you need to buy one for the practical application. All right, on that note, I'm going to take it out. Kind of being a little bit of a smart ass here in the shop. We've had a really good day. I guess that's my computer telling me that I need to get back over there and answer someone's email. So, hey, you know the deal. Reach out via email, phone call, anytime. I'll do the best I can to help you out. All right, everybody, be good. Woo! Video's over. Go home now. Go drink a beer. Go away. Yeah, knocks you over.